Fiscal devolution to cities. Urban centers in India are the primary engines of economic growth, generating nearly 67% of GDP and around 90% of government revenues. Despite their economic importance and rapid population growth, the 16th Finance Commission continues the pattern of limited fiscal transfer to urban local bodies. The Commission instead emphasized enhancing own source revenue through local taxation, raising questions about the adequacy of fiscal support and the implication for urban governance and federalism. Urban economy versus fiscal support. Cities as engines of growth. Urban centers contribute around two-thirds of India's GDP and a significant share of government revenues. India's urban population is projected to reach 41% by 2031, increasing pressure on infrastructure, housing, sanitation, and mobility. Urban grants under Finance Commission. 15th Finance Commission 21 to 26 urban local bodies received rupees 1.2 to 1.3 lakh crore over 5 years. This amounted to roughly 0.12 to 0.13% of GDP. 16 Finance Commission 26 to 31 proposed allocation of rupees 3.56 lakh crore over 5 years, rupees 75,000 crore annually. With India's projected GDP around 400 lakh crore, the ratio remains around 0.13% of GDP. Key insight: despite higher nominal allocation, the share of GDP transferred to cities remains stagnant, indicating limited improvement in fiscal support. Per capita transfer, the hidden reality. India's urban population exceeded 470 million around 2020. It is expected to reach 600 million or more during the 26-30 Finance Commission cycle. When grants are distributed across this growing population, per capita transfers remain stagnant or decline in real terms. The fiscal capacity of cities does not grow proportionately with the rising urban population and infrastructure demands. Utilization challenges. Even the limited funds allocated have not always been effectively utilized. For example, under the 15th Finance Commission, total local body grants were about Rs 4.36 lakh crore. Around 90,000 to 95,000 crore remained unspent or pending utilization. Approximately 30,000 to 35,000 crore of these unspent funds were meant for urban local bodies. Reasons include administrative bottlenecks, weak institutional capacity in ULBs, delays in project approvals and fund releases, tied grants and fiscal autonomy. What are tied grants? Tied grants are earmarked funds that must be used for specific sectors such as water supply, sanitation, wastewater management, etc. Implications: they limit the fiscal autonomy of cities. ULBs cannot allocate funds according to local priorities. 16th Finance Commission, it introduces even stricter conditions through performance-based grants. Performance-based condition: a portion of urban grants is linked to certain governance reforms such as regular election for local bodies, improved fiscal discipline, publication of provisional and audited accounts, and constitution of state finance commission. Additionally, 20% of funds are conditional on meeting specific benchmarks. Cities must increase OSR 1200 per household annually, especially through property taxes and user charges. Concerns: many cities may struggle to meet these benchmarks, risking the loss of funds. Federalism concerns: incentives for peri-urban mergers. The Commission has proposed Rs 10,000 crore as a one-time incentives for merging peri-urban villages population greater than 1 lakh with urban areas. Issues involved constitutional concerns. Urban development is a state subject under the Constitution. Central incentives may interfere with state autonomy. Administrative complications in states with a strong rural governance structure, example Kerala, such mergers could create institutional and service delivery challenges. Neglect of climate finance. The 16th Finance Commission recommendation pay limited attention to climate change despite cities being highly vulnerable to floods, heat waves, urban pollution and infrastructure stress. At the same time, the center collects cess revenues worth around 2.2% of GDP. These funds remain outside the divisible pool even though much of the revenue originates from urban economic activity. Implication: cities receive limited fiscal returns despite generating substantial revenue. Way forward: increase fiscal transfer to cities, raise urban grants as a larger share of GDP, enhance fiscal autonomy, reduce reliance on tied grants and allow flexible funding, strengthen own source revenues, reform property tax system, improve municipal financial management, empower Urban local bodies implement 74 constitutional amendment provisions, fully strengthen state finance commission, allocate dedicated funds for climate resilient infrastructure, revisit sales revenue sharing, consider including a portion of sales allocation in the divisible pool. Conclusion: India's cities are the primary drivers of economic growth, yet their fiscal empowerment remains limited. While the 16th Finance Commission emphasizes fiscal discipline and revenue generation, it does not substantially increase the share of funds flowing to urban local bodies. A sustainable urban future requires greater fiscal devolution, enhanced autonomy, and stronger institutional capacity, enabling cities to plan and finance their own development while the center plays the role of an enabler rather than a controller.